Shabbat Shalom, everyone. This is Rabbi Adam with some thoughts on this week's Torah portion, Va'era. Va'era is actually one of the most well-known parshiot in all of Torah because it tells the story of those famous 4 words, let my people go. At the beginning of the parsha, God is explaining to Moses what he is to tell Pharaoh and the Israelites in order to deliver this ever-famous message. And God says, I want you to use this 5-fold promise. It says, Vehotzeti, I will free you from the labor of the Egyptians. Vehitzalti, I will deliver you from their bondage. Viga'alti, I will redeem you with an outstretched arm. And Vilakachti, I will take you to be my people and I will be your God. And finally, Veheveti, I will bring you into the land that I swore to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and I will give it to you for a possession. Now, you might expect that when the Israelites heard these amazing things that God was going to do for them, that they would have been overjoyed. But in point of fact, the Torah tells us that when they heard Moses tell them what God was going to do, Lo sham'u otam mikotzer ruach, they were unable to hear what he had to say because their spirits had been so crushed by cruel bondage. Now, when I say that they couldn't hear what he was saying, I don't mean that they couldn't take in the words. They certainly heard what he was saying, but they didn't understand and couldn't believe that what he was saying would come to pass, would indeed happen. They were so focused, according to the classical commentators and an excellent drash by Rabbi Avital Hochstein, that they could not possibly imagine that these amazing promises would ever be brought to fruition. They were so all-consumed by their present lot that they couldn't see the possibility that a brighter tomorrow could actually be. Now, that sounds like something that you might have to deal with because you're in the midst of slavery, hard labors, building pyramids, and all the things we've learned about. But the reality is that description fits far too many of us. So many of us are stuck deeply in our day-to-day ruts. We look at the world around us, and though we wish it could be different, we so quickly resign ourselves to the fact that the way things are is the way they must be. We get so stuck that we can't imagine that things could be better. On this weekend, where we celebrate the birthday of Martin Luther King, we have to celebrate not only his amazing vision, the dreams he had, but also the Torah text that tells us we should not be so consumed with the present that we cannot see a better future. We have to be able to see what could be in order to bring it into fruition. So if you are feeling that you might be a little too stuck in where you are, do your best to take a moment, take a beat. Think about how you want the world to be, how much better it could be. And then we have to do what the Israelite people did, what Moses did, and what God did for us. Do what we can to bring that vision in our minds into reality. Shabbat Shalom.